Time to roast more of my old in the bags. This one only gets worse. Even better, we're back in time to some of the most traumatic moments of my life. But we'll get there in a bit. If you watched the last time I roasted my in the bag, this was only a few months after, so you would think not too many changes. That couldn't be more incorrect. From losing discs to companies sending me free ones, discs were coming in and out of my bag. This would lead me to one of the biggest mistakes I made in my disc golf career. But first, I gotta make fun of my putting putter going from P2s to Fireflies. I don't know what was going through my head at the time. No way I could afford those things. I mean, they were essentially the same disc, except now I'm paying the same price for a pair than 9 P2s. And for what? The Nexus plastic? Not sure the difference between that and DX, but maybe I'm just crazy. I was still rocking the Bullfrog, because at the time, nothing else felt better, and to this day, not many discs do. But you hit one tree with this thing, and it becomes a new disc. I swear. Flippier and flippier until the hyzer's almost backwards. That's really how I should have determined when to make it the new in the bags when I had to replace the Bullfrog. That was the big giveaway for these videos coming out way too close together. Ideas must have been real low. Oh god, here we go. The pig. In no way am I defending my horrible actions, but remember, I was sponsored by Innova at the time, which left my options to be the Aviar X3 or the pig. The most lose-lose situation I've ever been in. To be fair, I chose the Aviar X3 first, but that wasn't cutting it. Even in the video, I look uncomfortable trying to convince people watching that this was worth buying. In reality, I was just waiting for the day to throw a zone. At this point, I had already been bagging this Mako 3 for 5 years, and I'm glad I can hang on Noah's wall. If you don't understand why, check out this video. I hope I link it. Probably won't. It's somewhere. Check out my other videos. I don't know what was worse, bagging the pig or the lion. Doesn't matter, because I was the dummy throwing both of them at the time. Maybe this is why nobody wanted to be my friend. There was no way I could keep bagging the rock. It took me way longer than it should have, but I was officially over it. The breaking point was receiving a package from Innova that contained the brand new lion. Without even throwing the disc, it was already in my bag. I needed to switch and already hated mid-ranges, so what could go wrong? I don't even think I really threw the disc that much. I just bag whatever free disc I'm given. 5 years later, and nothing's changed. It was also pretty cool that I had one from the Disc Golf Nerd that he used for a review video. Cool fun fact. In all honesty, the Lion did the job it needed to for me. Handled the power I wanted to put into a mid-range without any worry of the disc turning over for me. That was the problem with my DX rocks. Or I wasn't smart enough to throw on hyzer. Actually, that's exactly what I was doing wrong, because I was still in the phase of everything needed to be thrown flat if it was considered good. What a dummy I was. I promised the next time I talked about the Cayman, I would tell the story of the first glory hole. If you subscribe for this story, I told you I'd get here. Only because it's not that good of a story. Disc Golf Jesus' first ace was in hole 5 at Red Fox, the course I grew up playing. In 2019, I hit the same hole with my starred Cayman on the most basic of hyzer lines that would have sailed 100 feet past the basket if it didn't hit the chains. I even had Swiss there as a witness, but it would take 3 years later until Swiss would hit the ace. The funny part was, Disc Golf Jesus and Swiss went to the course to get an ace, so they not only had one camera, they had 2 on the course with them. Only for Swiss to eventually hit the ace, securing the first ever glory hole for us, and there to be no video. Yes, you heard that right. Not sure how the two of them f***ed that one up, but now you'll just have to believe me. Which shouldn't be too far-fetched, since it's a 200-foot hole, and we have 2 other glory holes now. Another disc that stayed the same and is still in the bag to this day is the Simon signed FD, which I say back then was flippy, which I can only imagine what 17-year-old me would think of it now. One thing's for sure, I didn't know what understable meant then. It's easy to spot when someone's lonely when they spend their Valentine's Day money on a heart-stamped Discmania disc, which must have been why I had this disc. Hey, rather spend it on plastic than flowers. The Instinct is a disc I question putting back in my bag still. It could handle power by drifting to the right without really dumping, just slowly letting the disc glide down the fairway. When I first learned how to hyzer flip, my woods game elevated with this disc going far without moving much in the line I put it on. It was around this time too, Swiss was starting to mess with it as well, which just shows the different games this disc can fit into. I can't really remember my Thunderbird era too much. There isn't anything too special about it in my opinion. I can throw it hard without getting much turn and has a consistent fade. Kinda basic and the clear lesser of the Innova birds. Kinda like a Moltres. Glad to see I had a pair of Firebirds with the ultimate disc golf strategy of a beat-in one and a much more overstable one. This disc I felt confident in all type of shots, from forehand flexes to backhands that need a hard finish at the end of the flight. Most of the Firebird will come out for 250 to 300 foot forehands. That was my bread and butter, and there isn't a better disc than a Firebird for that shot. Nothing proves my money shots more than the Gucci die, if I'm being real. Some of you might be wondering what this common mistake was. Probably thought it was bagging the pig, which honestly still works, but not what I'm talking about here. Who in the hell needs to bag 8 destroyers? Especially for someone who's just starting to throw 400 feet consistently, there was no reason I needed this many of this mold, or honestly, any in the bag at this point. I'm not sure how it happened, but the destroyer became the staple disc golf disc. I see it in everyone's bag, from local pros, the old geezer who runs the league, even beginners gravitate towards this disc. The worst part is, disc golfers often seem to be incredibly stubborn, and instead of realizing the issue of the disc fades out way too fast, they will compensate with a stupid amount of anhyzer. It's kind of like the dude in the lifted truck making sure the entire street knows how small his dick is. Don't fall for that trap. No, 12 speed does not mean it will go farther than other discs. Stop listening to the same friend that counts spitouts. Yeah, that's a thing. Majority of disc golfers should not be using the destroyer unless it's for shots that need to fade hard without a chance of it turning. Then it's allowed, because there's a purpose you can actually use it for. As long as you can tell me the purpose behind bagging each disc, I truly have no issue. The disc you use is purely semantics and subjective based on everything. Everyone's hands are different, and no one can replicate the same angle and power over and over again. I'm still going to make fun of your reasoning though. Hey, I didn't say I was going to accept it, just that you needed to have it. Alright, I have to at least try and defend myself for the decision of bagging 8 destroyers before I get roasted too hard in the comments below. To start, I had my baby as a security blanket that was necessary for my sanity, and if I ever needed to flip up forehands, I could trust this disc to not only flip, but still have fade at the end every time. I then had this 158 gram destroyer that I got for a graduation present that I tried to work as a backup for my baby, but I ended up destroying it for a challenge video. This purple one was stamped for Team Disc Store. When I did that, I was recording types of disc golfers and needed to hit the tree in front of me hard for the bit. I completely whiffed and the disc went sailing through the course, and some casual picked it up before I got to it. That one kinda stung. No idea how I came across this Brinster destroyer, but it was in my bag only to be thrown in the water on a shitty throw at Vision Quest, one of my favorite hidden-ish disc golf courses over in Minnesota. I loved this Macbeth 4-time so much. I could throw it so far, it was ridiculous at the time. So many fond memories. Too bad I chucked it over a fence with a damn attack dog. I'll risk it for a lot, but no way I was putting my balls on the line with that beast. And I'm not talking no DX. Lastly, I bagged a pair of first bronze Sakibot destroyers, or in other words, the best run of destroyer ever made. They were the perfect amount of stable out the box, and once they were beat up, they would hyzer flip and hold. I miss these so much. One of my furthest flying drivers at the time, and got me a 489 smash at Delwood with the perfect wind, I will say. Too bad I just left at the course one day. Not sure when, no idea where, just realized it one day, and was pretty upset. Losing that green one is the only reason I don't play hard courses with people that are willing to leave discs behind. Or what I'm trying to say is the reason I don't play disc golf with my brother anymore. Well, that was another one of my in the bag roasts. If you want to see this one, make sure to drop a like and comment down below. I think I got like 6 more or something like that. And if you want me to roast your bag, make sure to drop it in the comment section below and I'll start getting after it. Eventually. One of these days. Maybe. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Oh, and if you want to know what the best forehand discs you can buy are, check out the video right here.